Kristen, and today we wanted to talk a little bit about blogging. You know, you've seen it, us mention it a few times. You know that you've heard it around why blogging is so important, but a lot of you still write me and ask me, what exactly does blogging do and why should I do it? So we've called in inbound marketing expert Tom Zoblin from Stratosphere Studios, who kind of specializes in blogging and inbound marketing, to talk to us a little bit about it today. Tom, thanks for joining us.
Hey, Kristen.
So explain to us a little bit, what is blogging and why is it so important?
Well, blogging for business, blogging's been around for quite a few years, but businesses have started to take on the idea of blogging and using it for marketing and establishing thought leadership. There's a couple of things that go on with blogging. There's some benefits to it for businesses. One is, you know, your customers are coming to you because they have a problem they need answers to, and blogging allows you to answer to solve those problems, answer those questions. And if you think of it in terms of a sales funnel, you're kind of collecting all these prospects at the top of your sales funnel with the blog. You're also able to do search engine optimization, especially, you know, most shops are what you would call a hyper-local business. You know, a body shop in Philadelphia isn't trying to answer questions for people in Denver, that kind of thing. So you can do specific keyword search engine optimization by answering questions for Philadelphia drivers or, you know, car owners in Philadelphia, collision repair Philadelphia, that kind of thing, and that will start to build all the keywords that you need, because search engines see blogs as individual web pages, and search engines are looking for relevant content. They're looking for specific keyword phrases, like exact matches, and as many times as it in each blog post, how many times those words are relevantly linked to that. And it's also looking for websites that have a lot of inbound links. So blogging allows you to get those keywords in there, build that credibility, that thought leadership, and also as you start really delving into the topics of your business, you start to build a following and start to build a backlink strategy, which will all boost, you know, customers to your door, and that kind of thing. So.
Great. Now, one of the things you talked about was search engine optimization, and I think what's key with what you do that's different than kind of what we think of, we've kind of heard that term a lot in our industry, and we think that moving me up on the Google page, so moving me up on my website page and moving me in Google rankings is really what search engine optimization is. But it's really changed, right? The way that Google's crawling websites and looking for things, that you're going to have more than just your website if you want to stay on top of the list. Is that right these days?
That's absolutely right. The Google Panda was released, I forget, like 6 months ago, because businesses were doing these, they were using these black hat SEO companies, and what they would do is they would charge you a fee, and they would link you to a million what they called link farms, and a lot of them were offshore link farms. So if you've ever mistyped a term into Google by one letter and you landed on a page that had everything from, you know, car repair, mortgage insurance, find a doctor, like every single topic, that's a link farm. And companies, actually, they caught, I think it was Sears actually was the first one that got caught in this, and Google basically banned them from the search engine ranking because it wasn't Google's mission is to create the best user experience for its customers, and they also want to sell ads. So content is key. Content is what is going to get you ranked on Google, and you get rewarded for that. And blogging is a key way to add all that kind of content, because you're, like I said, if you pick a topic, you know, say, will the paint match, you know, and then you can start blogging about and including those keywords, you know, auto body shop, like keeping the Philadelphia example, like auto body shop Philadelphia, will my paint match, you know, all these kind of things. But if you're constantly blogging about topics that are relevant to your business, Google will reward you for that, as well as in a broader social media context too, because you can, as soon as you blog a post, you can blast that out to your social media channels and start to build a following that way as well. So
That's great. I think one of the things that we talk about a lot is making sure that anything that you put out there, blog, Facebook post, Twitter post, is always kind of bringing that customer back to you and your website. That's kind of the purpose of the inbound and capturing them and bringing them back. And we see a lot of shops lately not using that to its full potential. They seem to be sending the customer somewhere else, letting MSN or CNN or somebody else be the expert versus themselves. And if I'm writing a blog, then that's a link to me as an expert, right?
Right. One of the things that people overlook is the use of a landing page. So let's say you had an offer for one of your customers. I've seen shops use like $100 off your deductible, although I know that's sometimes debatable. Some people see that as a good way to drive business. Other people don't agree with that, and some insurance companies won't allow that. But I've also seen like 3-day free rental, that kind of thing. When you're doing a blog post, not only do you want to keyword optimize it, but you want to make sure that you have a call to action button at the bottom of every blog post or inside the blog post somewhere. And that's that offer, that thing that's going to take, as I talked about the sales funnel. So if you imagine that the blog post captures everybody that is searching for those words in the top of the funnel, the call to action is going to actually take that group and determine which ones are actual potential customers of yours. And by clicking on a button to get a special offer, and it can be anything like a coupon for 3 days free rental for for repairs over $2,500, or it could be a guide that you write, like a white paper or something like that, where how to choose the right body shop, how to know your car is going to get fixed right, any kind of additional content that takes the general, because a blog post you want to keep it to a certain amount of words, and then you want to try to like I said, funnel that down.
Hey, Tom, well, thanks for taking the time to join us today. I know that you're going to have a great article in the magazine this month, so if you're watching the video, be sure to go over, if you are a subscriber to the Hub, check out Tom's article on blogging and inbound marketing, learn a little bit more about the services, and then learn some more about Stratosphere Studios. And if you're not a subscriber to the Hub, then be sure to get on quickly so that you don't miss this month's edition and learn all about blogging and what it can do for your business. You can also find Tom in Collision Hub, and you'll find him adding some content to the marketing and promotions group within the website. So, Tom, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks, Kristen. Always a pleasure.
And we will see you shortly. Don't forget, sign up for the Hub. We'll see you there.